Hello, good people of planet Earth. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. I am your host of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name is David Bradley, training facilitator and coach with Grant Cardone. I'm bringing you weekly sales solutions, tips, strategies, and attitude adjustments from the 10X world of Grant Cardone. Now today's Wednesday. So you know what that means, right? That means that today is the day that we do the Wednesday word. Let me tell you about the Wednesday word. If you're a first timer, hey, welcome. Thank you for being here. This is what's about to happen. I got a list, and it's a long one, of success themed and motivated words. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up the dictionary and we're going to look at what that word really means. We're also going to check out the etymology of the word, where it came from. And then we're going to throw some action ideas on it, things that we can do with this word to incorporate it better into our sales and our business and our life. Check it out. First lesson I learned from Grant Cardone when I first started studying his content way back in 2003. Selling is a conversation. Power comes from the words you use. So the hashtag to the Wednesday word is Wednesday wisdom. So what wisdom can we take from it? What can we do with it? How do we plug it into our sales business and our life and get results from it? Now today, get ready. Today's word is a doozy. Today's word. Well, let me just open it up with this. Why are humans at the top of the food chain? Why is that? Okay. This week's word is something that you have. It is also something that you take, and it is a skill that in order for you to survive and thrive here on planet Earth, you must also develop it and train it like a muscle. Oh, well, what the hell's today's word, Dave? Great question. Glad you asked. Today's word is responsibility. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, responsibility. Okay. Let me just give you the definition. I've got 5 definitions of responsibility for us to play with today, and I'm going to use each one of them in a sentence that I borrowed from Google. Definition of responsibility: the state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or of having control over someone. A true leader takes responsibility for their team and helps them achieve their goals. Next one, the state or fact of being accountable or to blame for something. The group has claimed responsibility for a string of murders. It's dark. Third, the opportunity or ability to act independently and make decisions without authorization. Quote, we would expect individuals lower down the organization to take on more responsibility, end quote. Okay. Fourth one, a thing that one is required to do as part of a job, role, or legal obligation. Plural noun, responsibilities. In a sentence, he will take over the responsibilities as overseas director. Last one, a moral obligation to behave correctly toward or in respect of. In a sentence, individuals have a responsibility to control personal behavior. So, where did this word come from? What is the history of the word? My friends over at etymologygeek.com dropped something very interesting that I thought would be worth discussing. Spondeo, Latin, meaning guarantee. I promise for another. I become security for a person. I promise or engage in. I promise, bind, or pledge myself. Contract, vow. Spondeo. Okay. Now that word means again. It's a prefix that is added to words to indicate an action being done again. Rewind. Okay? Or meaning about, regarding, with reference to. Okay? So we have respondeo is I measure up. I resound. I am present. I appear, attend. I make a return, yield. I meet or answer. I meet, agree, accord, or correspond with, conform to, answer for, I reply, respondero. Okay? I just thought that was interesting. Respond, reply. Okay? Got it? Perfect. Now, what do we do with this? Okay, so we've got two words basically, right? We have response and we have ability. So what is the definition of response? A verbal or written answer, a reaction to something offered in return. So then what is the definition of ability? Possession of the means or skill to do something. Talent, skill, proficiency. Okay, so, question. To what degree are you response able? We as humans have the unique and innate ability to select our response. It's a choice. Most of the animal kingdom, however, they operate on instinct. Yet the human has evolved into a level of self-awareness that enables us to make a decision about how we will respond. Okay, case in point, you see a little bear cub out in the woods, and you're like, hey, cute little bear cub, and you go walking up. You know what? Mama bear is just going to destroy you. She's not going to bother to take the time to figure out, hey, is this guy cool or not? No, she's just going to waste you. Okay? Whereas if you're in a park and you got your kid in a stroller and a random stranger rolls up and says, oh, look at a cute little baby, right? You're going to have a moment. Is this guy cool? Okay? You're going to have a moment. So again, I ask you, to what degree are you response able? Okay? Newsflash. What this means, no one has ever made you do anything. You chose that response. In a split second, you made a decision. So, if your ability at responding is subpar, guess what else will be too? Your responses. Okay? Split second. Right there. Okay? There's a moment where you become fully aware of your surroundings, you observe, you make a decision, and then you decide. You act. Okay? You choose your response, you hold yourself accountable, and you take ownership of the consequence. Here's the bottom line on that. No one is a victim unless they choose to be. Being a victim and staying a victim are two very separate things. One is a moment in time, the other is a choice, a response. Okay? Everything that exists in your life is a consequence of how you have chosen to respond to external stimuli. Now that Grant's book, The 10X Rule, right here, this book teaches us to assume control for everything. Take responsibility and ownership for the conditions of your life. The opposite of responsibility, a lot of people would say, well, it's irresponsibility. No, the opposite of responsibility is blame. And speaking of the 10X rule, when you get a little deeper into this book, you'll see that blame is the energy that makes slaves, which would make you, if you are such, a person who is excessively dependent upon or controlled by something or someone, a slave. If you're not working on your responsibility, if you're not working on your responsibility daily, then you're just a slave. I'm going to finish this up with a quote from Grant. Also, 10X rule. As long as you're alive, you will either live to accomplish your own goals and dreams or be used as a resource to accomplish somebody else's. And this has been the Wednesday Word. I'm your host of the Wednesday Word. My name is David Bradley. Thank you so much for listening. Hey, if you got some value from this, If this is helping, if this shook your tree a little bit, sort of gave you a little bit of a wake-up call, I know it does for me, okay? We can all be more responsible in our lives, wouldn't you agree? Especially now, okay? So do what you need to do. Fire it up. Turn up the responsibility knob, right? It's there. Just turn it up. Take full responsibility. Nothing happens to you, as Grant says, it happens because of you. Accept it. Embrace it, because until you do, you're not going to be able to fix what's going on in your life. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to leave you with the words of Grant Cardone. The last ones this time is be great, because nothing else pays. See you soon.